In the heart of West Africa, where the Senegal and Gambia rivers weave a natural tapestry, the Wolof Empire emerged as a formidable force. Spanning from the mid-14th to the mid-16th century, this coastal state became a bustling hub of trade, prosperity, and cultural influence. The tale begins in the first millennium BCE, when the Wolof people, settlers of Senegambia, cultivated their existence between the Senegal River to the north and the Gambia River to the south. Their roots, hinted at by language and pottery, traced back to Central or Eastern Africa. Fishing, cultivating wet rice, and tending to cattle, sheep, and goats defined their way of life. Iron, a versatile resource, shaped their tools, pottery, and adorned their jewelry. A distinctive touch emerged as megalithic monuments and stone circles, standing tall and proud, marked the landscape. As time wove its threads, the Wolof people evolved into the dominant tribe south of the Senegal River. Once under the shadow of the Mali Empire, they seized their independence, anointed their first king, the semi-legendary Ndiaye Ndiaye, likely in the second half of the 14th century. Civil wars, tribal conflicts, and the shifting tides of trade routes eroded the grip of the Mali kings, creating an opening for the Wolof Empire. In the late 15th century, the Wolof Empire sprawled across three Wolof-speaking kingdoms, Caire, Wallo, and Bale, and neighboring states like Sine and Saloum, inhabited by Sera speakers. North of the Gambia River, untouched by the Songhai Empire, Wolof kings extended their influence into Malinke territory, absorbing kingdoms like Nyumi, Badabu, Nyani, and Wuli. This expanse, though often termed an empire, resembled more a confederacy of tribute-paying kingdoms. The Wolof Empire, a major player in the slave trade, engaged in commerce with European merchants, particularly the Portuguese and later the French. Gold, hides, ivory, and slaves flowed through the intricate threads of trade, binding the empire to distant lands. As the rivers whispered tales of prosperity, the Wolof language endured, resonating through Senegal, Gambia, and Mauritania. The legacy of the Wolof Empire, a chapter in the rich tapestry of West African history, echoes in the tongues of those who still speak its name. The Wolof Empire held sway, a tapestry of trade and power unfurled. The empire, a major player in the intricate dance of commerce, saw its fortunes rise and fall on the rhythms of the mighty Senegal River. As the 17th century dawned, the landscape of trade shifted. The once thriving slave trade, a cornerstone of Wolof commerce, dwindled. Senegambia, no longer a source of slaves, transformed into a thoroughfare, ushering captives from the heart of Central Africa to the coast. Yet, the Wolof, with the Senegal River as their lifeline, navigated these currents to trade a plethora of goods, hides, cotton textiles, gum, ivory, cola nuts, salt, horses, indigo, and beeswax. Skilled artisans, particularly goldsmiths and filigree workers, crafted goods that garnered admiration across West Africa. Gold, the coveted treasure of the Europeans, flowed through Wolof territory from the Bambuk goldfields to the coast. In the mid-15th century, Portuguese adventurer Diogo Gomes forged trade ties with the Wolof. The exchange of gifts and the embrace of Christian missionaries marked this burgeoning relationship. Trade burgeoned, reaching such heights that the Wolof king, Berba Barao, shifted his capital closer to the coast. However, the winds of change stirred discontent among traditionalist princes who opposed the influence of missionaries. In 1489, a revolt toppled Barao, forcing his brother, Prince Bamoy, into exile. Yet, Bamoy found an unexpected ally in Lisbon. Welcomed and baptized, he became the Portuguese choice to ascend the Wolof throne. A military expedition, fueled by ambition, sailed forth with 20 caravel ships. However, disease and discord marred their efforts. Bamoy's death marked the failure of the venture. The Portuguese, retreating to their fortified posts along the coast, maintained a tenuous hold on trade in the ensuing years. Amidst this tale of trade and turmoil, the Wolof state unfolded. A king, elected by a council of elders, held sway, chosen from candidates tied to a significant ancestry. Society, etched with hierarchy, revealed the royal family atop the social ladder, followed by non-royal nobles, free men divided into various castes, and slaves, a stratum born of wars and raids. A unique class, the Chedo, enforced tribute and policed other slaves. Nominally Islamic due to the influence of Berber traders and missionaries, the elite danced between Islamic tenets while the ordinary folk clung to their traditional animist beliefs. As the sun dipped on the 16th century, a new player waltzed onto the West African stage, France. French traders bearing coveted treasures like textiles, spirits, metal goods, pepper, palm oil, and firearms, embarked on a dance that shifted the balance of power. The Portuguese, once masters of the trade, found their advantage waning, especially as the export of firearms to Africa was prohibited by their crown. The French, seizing the opportunity, claimed towns like Guéret, Portugal, Jolof, and Rufiji within Wolof territory. The cultural mosaic of the Atlantic coast transformed, witnessing the fusion of African and French identities in urban areas like the bustling port of St. Louis. The allure of Africa, with its gold and slaves, proved irresistible not only to the French but also to the English and the Dutch, who joined this maritime ballet. Yet, amid the crescendo of trade, the Wolof Empire began to unravel. By the mid-16th century, its once unified fabric frayed into successor states, a prelude to the Wolof Kingdom. Coastal towns, intoxicated by wealth, sought autonomy from the central Wolof monarchy, paving the way for the empire's fragmentation. The rise of the militaristic Fulani, led by Koli Tengela, further weakened the Wolof. The splintered states, now comprising Wallo, Kayer, Bawol, Sine, Salem, and the landlocked Wolof Kingdom, became pawns in the game of power. Monopolies on high-value trade goods, including slaves and firearms, turned these states into lucrative hubs. The Saharan Berbers, feeling the pinch of lost trade, launched a holy war led by Nasir al-Din in 1673. The war, with support from the converted and the faithful, toppled ruling elites, creating Muslim theocracies. However, the momentum dwindled with Nasir al-Din's demise in 1674, French interventions, and defeats. The once unified Wolof successor kingdom splintered further, grappling with internal strife and external challenges, fading away as political entities by the 18th century. Yet, the Wolof spirit persisted. In the coastal trade of the mid-18th century, the Wolof people played an active role. However, the melody of power shifted, and the French, along with other European powers, seized control through military conquest in the 19th century. The Wolof language, however, echoed through time, outlasting the empire and kingdom. Today, it stands as the official language in Senegal, weaving the threads of a rich history into the vibrant tapestry of West Africa.